I believe that it will be one of those strange injuries where you're like, but yeah, I feel good and, just going day by day. No, she didn't take part in anything, but she's still working on it. There's just no way to get it completely fixed without taking a significant amount of time off. She looks like she's kind of jogging around okay and is almost at full capacity because I'm not sure if she'll be at full capacity for the remainder of the season. Caitlin Clark recently provided a significant update regarding her injury, and it's evident that the pain is still present. She's also back at practice and talking to the media. I feel fine. And I'm going to be living my life from now on, doing everything I can to put myself in a position to play the next game every single time. No, she didn't take part in everything. This isn't just a minor problem though, something she's fighting day by day. Still working her way there. Simply no way to get completely well without taking a significant amount of time off. I believe it will be diagnosed similarly to her quads, where the MRI clearly revealed a quad strain before everything was fine. But she still seemed like something was off. I'm not sure what's wrong. What's wrong with her? I believe it might be a pinched nerve that's causing all of her leg issues, such as a pinched nerve in her hip that's causing groin pain, which is what put more strain on her quad, according to this section. Caitlin Clark's medical team has yet to determine the reason for her pain, which supports the notion that she's still dealing with discomfort on a daily basis. Will likely be diagnosed much like her quads, which the MRI clearly showed to be strained. After that, everything was fine, but she continued to appear to be experiencing problems, which I doubt they are aware of. Why is she acting like I believe it to be one of those strange injuries where it will be discovered that, as I mentioned before, it is likely a pinched nerve that is the source of all the issues in her leg. Her hip is giving her groin pain, which is what's putting further strain on her quadriceps. Yes, I feel good. I'm going to spend the rest of my days doing everything I can to position myself to play the next game whenever I can, since that's always my aim, to be available. I'm working with the medical staff to get my body in shape for the upcoming game. Even though she feels well, Clark provides a thorough explanation of her circumstances, stating that she is still in the recovery phase and overcoming the discomfort. My goal is to be available for the next game, so I'm doing everything I can with the medical staff to get my body in a position to play it every time. To be day-to-day from now on, doing everything I can to put myself in a position to do that. However, she remarked yesterday, this is not a thing that's going to just get better this season. It's about how it's managed. I feel okay though, and I'm just living day by day. I nearly interpret that as a macro. I have persistent injuries that I can't seem to get better. Completely correct. But without taking a significant amount of time off? K. A media analyst reads Clark's own remarks as evidence that this isn't a temporary injury. Rather, it might persist throughout the season, supporting the idea in your video title that she's still in pain. Caitlin Clark has been battling injuries this season, and I'll admit that what she said yesterday gave me the impression that, this isn't something that will just get better this season. Rather, it's about how it's handled, which isn't fantastic. Bob is correct, but Caitlin stated that there is simply no clear indication of her injury status. Method to get completely well without taking a significant amount of time off. I feel fine, and I'm going to be living my life from now on, doing everything I can to position myself to play the next game every single time, working with the medical staff to get my body in the right condition. That is comment from Clark that was repeated in several versions in a slightly altered form. She is serious about continuing to play even if she is still managing her pain, as evidenced by the repetition. I feel wonderful, and I'm going to be doing everything I can to put myself in position to play the next game each and every time. That's always my objective. I'm working with the medical staff to get my body in the best possible shape so that I can play the next game. But yeah, I feel good and nothing happened. She didn't take part in everything, but she's still working her way through a lot of non-con. photography stuff. We're just trying to move forward gradually and avoid any setbacks. We're just trying to move forward gradually to avoid any setbacks. So only offensive non-cont work. I'm not sure if she'll be fully recovered for the remainder of the season because it hurts for her to be out. Caitlin Clark is capable of handling these injuries, returning to the court, and being nearly her best self again. My biggest fear right now is some kind of compensation injury, which I don't even like to put into the equation because I don't like doing my Engelbert. And there's just no way to get completely right without taking a significant amount of time off. Universe. But it's undoubtedly my biggest fear. Nevertheless, I'm hoping Caitlin Clark can overcome these injuries and return to the court as nearly her best self as possible. Because not sure if she'll be 100% for the remainder of the season. Just giving our team credit for just giving our group credit for sticking together and knowing that whatever's in our locker room is really all we need to go out there and win. I think we should be really proud of our group every day and return with the same vigor and desire to improve. Know that everything in our locker room is really all we need to go out there and win. And to be honest, we're really proud of our group every single day. Therefore, Caitlin made a quick movement in that final play and returned with the same energy, attitude, and desire to improve. She yelled out, grabbed her groin, and struggled to get up as the crowd noticed that something had obviously gone wrong. Stephanie White is once again in the spotlight for making the call that put her in danger, and she took a step that caused her to collapse. It was painful to watch. When she screamed, her left leg suddenly appeared beneath her. And if you looked at the thumbnail image, you could see that she was saying, "Ah." She will yell, but not necessarily scream, and then she will fall down and grab the ball. Yes, this is the obvious cause of that groin injury. She is getting up, and while Erica Willer is checking on her, she ends up grabbing her groin precisely. Here, Stephanie White claims that she didn't learn about Caitlin Clark's groin injury until late last night. But her admirers don't believe her. Of trust is blaring. They think she's downplaying her ailments again because they've seen her do it before. Instead of showing real care, Stephanie's remarks come across as damage control. Fans are exposing her for lying once more, and the timing and justification seem all too familiar. With Caitlin Clark, it's been ansoming terrible. Caitlin Clark has been officially ruled out for tonight's game against the LA Sparks due to a groin injury. I must admit that this has wrecked my entire day and will likely spoil my entire weekend. My main concern is that she may get a compensation damage, but hopefully the biggest worry right now is that Caitlin Clark will be able to handle these injuries, return to the court, and be nearly 100% of herself. Because I'm not sure if she will be 100% for the remainder of the season. I don't even like taking my Engelbert and putting that, though it is undoubtedly my greatest fear. I'm hoping Caitlin Clark can overcome these injuries and return to the court as nearly her best self as possible, because I'm not sure if she will be fully recovered from her quad injury for the remainder of the season. She wasn't going to play. But then we learned that she and Sophie Cunningham were unexpectedly returning, which may be the reason we're here now. I mean, why wouldn't I try to get my teammates on my team? That's the obvious objective once they come out, with whoever has made it and whoever hasn't. I suppose I get to pick and choose. After she recovered from the quad injury, we thought she wouldn't play. But then we discovered that she and Sophie Cunningham were unexpectedly returning. The other question is whether she should have returned, and it could be the reason we are here at this moment. Now that it has been confirmed that the pain was evident, the outrage is growing. And as more questions arise, one name keeps coming up: Stephanie White. I will be doing this day to day from now on. I told the medical professionals everything I could to help my body get better. But something felt off with her attitude and energy. If you saw the thumbnail image, you would have noticed that she was screaming, and her left leg is coming out from underneath her. I'll tell you, I don't think they know what's wrong with her. It might be a pinched nerve that's causing groin pain and additional stress on her quadriceps. You fans are done with Stephanie White. Her honeymoon period is over, and she appears to be jogging around as if she's had scans. She seems to be jogging around, and I suspect that she has had scans. The reason they say daily is because I believe they don't know what's wrong with her. I believe it will be diagnosed just like her quads. Obviously, I don't think they know what's wrong with her. But I think it's going to be one of those strange injuries where it's going to be discovered that it's like AI believe it might be a pinched nerve that is the source of all the issues in her leg. For example, a pinched nerve in her hip is causing groin pain, which is what caused her quad to be under additional stress. She is grabbing her own rebound, passing the ball to Aaliyah, and heading tote the back of the queue, and it makes you wonder what's happening. Could they be aiming for tomorrow night? I'm not sure if she'll be completely, it's about how it's handled for the remainder of the season. There's simply no way to do it completely right without taking a significant amount of time off. So she's grabbing her own rebound, giving the ball to Aaliyah, and making her way to the back of the line makes you question what's going on and whether they could be aiming for tomorrow night. I'm not sure if she'll be 100% for the remainder of the season, so it all depends on how it's handled. Which there are reasonably no way to get everything perfect without taking a significant amount of time off. I believe what they're attempting to do is perhaps some compression will help, perhaps keeping it hot will help, and she didn't take part in everything, still working her way through a lot of non-con shooting stuff, though it's obviously not putting a lot of heat on it. I believe that realistically they are trying to see if perhaps some compression will help it, or if perhaps they are just trying to keep it hot or something. She didn't take part in everything, but she's still working her way through a lot of non-con shooting stuff, so you're trying to determine how much the minor injuries will affect her, and whether it's a risk. If it's a risk for her to go out, I doubt they'll put her on the ground. You're trying to determine what the minor injuries are, how much they'll affect her, and whether or not it's a risk for her to go out since. In all honesty, if there's a risk, there's no reason why she would play. And if there's any kind of risk, I doubt they're going to put her on the floor. Now, one could argue, should she have returned? That's the other question. And it might be the reason we're here at this moment. Believe they are aware of her condition, which I believe is one of those strange injuries. Clark's own comments confirm that this isn't finished, it's ongoing. She didn't take part in everything, even in the continued anguish and bewilderment that I'm going to experience every day from now on. Her body speaks for itself. I don't think they understand what's wrong with her. I believe it's one of those strange injuries where you're like, yeah, I feel good, but I'm going to be day to day from here on out, and doing everything I can to put myself in a position to play the next game every single time. But no, she didn't take part in everything. Instead, she continued to work toward her goals. The painful reality is that there is simply no way to get everything right without taking a significant amount of time off the remainder of her season, such as commenting, sharing, and subscribing for each news about Caitlin Clark's struggle to obtain healthy.